everybody, it's me, Tina. I'm going to be doing a review on my KitchenAid mixer. It is the KitchenAid Deluxe 5 edition. I think it's one of the biggest ones you can get, but it has 10 speeds on it. And mine came with the big mixing bowl, and I've used mine for, I would say, around at least 5-6 years, and it really doesn't scratch up all that much. I mean, compared to the use that I get out of it. And the way you put it in is by banging it around like this, and you push it in, then it's in. And mine also came with this shield, so you don't get it all over, get your flour and ingredients all over the place. Then it also came with a smaller mixing bowl that I really like. And I'll put this over here. Then it came with the whipping tool for the big mixer. And this is the whipping tool for the small bowl. What I mean is for the big mixing bowl. This is the whisk for it. Then it also came with this paddle. I think it's to beat like cookie dough and stuff like that. And for my bread, which I'm going to show you the recipe for, and going to make it here for you. This is my dough hook. And the only thing that I've ever kind of damaged is, where is it? I have one spot, oh, right here. For some reason there's a little nick in there. I don't know why. I'm almost thinking it was there when I bought it, because I noticed it almost right away. So I'm thinking it was there, but not sure. Anyway, it works just fine, and it has never rusted or anything, so it works just fine. So what I'm going to do is put that on there for my dough, and this is the attachment for if you have other things to hook onto your KitchenAid. And I have the pasta maker I have, the roller I have, and I have different tools. And for my bread, I need salt, yeast, sugar, and water. It's a very, very simple recipe to do, and I always find it gives me really good bread. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of yeast, and this is just the Fleischmann's yeast. Then I'm going to do the same amount of sugar just to get the yeast going. Then I will add about a cup of water to this, and then let it sit for a couple of minutes. That's not water. There we go. Here's my water. I use distilled water, and I've heated it up a bit. So I'll let that sit for a few minutes. Okay, now my yeast mixture has sat for a bit, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to add my salt, which is, I measured it out and it's about three tablespoons. And this is a lot of, actually maybe 2. Yeah, just 2. It's about a nice, you know, handful. So it's about 2 tablespoons of salt. And then I'm going to add another 4 cups of water. So that's 2, 3, and 4. There we go. And I add this and clamp it up. And flour, I'm not sure how much I use. I just give it, put as much flour as needed. And to start it off, I'm gonna just add a few scoops in there. Put my cover on and I'll turn it on for a few minutes. And it's not all that loud. And just add flour as needed. One thing I forgot to add was oil, and since the dough is not ready yet anyway, you can just add that. And it's about 3/4 cup of oil. And again, this is going to be quite a bit of bread, and I'm going to be making buns with it. So just give that a stir again. This is what my dough is starting to look like. And I'm gonna, now what I like to do is take it down once and then just push everything down and scrape the sides down. And I use a plastic spatula. This one happens to be from Tupperware, I believe. Yep. And I think I got it free one time. I was at a party and I got it for free at a Tupperware party. So I really like it. So just push it all down. And then bring it back up and let it go for a little bit. And it's becoming nice and stretchy and it's almost ready. And when it climbs up like this, then you know you've got a little bit too much in there. So I always like to just push it down. And this is just about ready. You don't want a very hard dough. It should still be soft. Should still be a soft dough. Just combine it a little more. There. It is ready to be put in the bowl. So bring it down. Yeah, it shouldn't go up any further than that because then it will start getting in your, I don't know if it actually would get in there, but I don't like it anyway to go up further. Then take that out. Take your bowl off, and I'll push this back. Then you get a nice big bowl. This is another Tupperware bowl, and this will get nice and big, like it'll rise really big. Like I said, this is a pretty big batch of bread. Yep, just scrape your thing off, your dough hook. Then I put a little bit of oil in here just so it won't stick to the bowl, and transfer this hunk of dough in here. And you can see it's still nice and soft. So scrape everything in there. And it's not terribly sticky. It is a little bit, but that just means that the gluten is working. So scrape everything out and put it in your bowl here like this. Then what I do is I sprinkle just a little bit of flour onto it. You should take your rings off for this, but I tried taking mine off and couldn't get it off. My hands are swollen today. But you don't have to work with it much because your machine did most of the work for you. And just a little more flour, and then turn it over so you get a nice smooth top, and you're done. So you barely touched your dough. Didn't even get this hand really dirty. Yep, and you put a nice towel over it, and I'm gonna let it rise for at least an hour, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, this is what my dough looks like after an hour of rising in the bowl. This is what she looks like. Now what I'm going to do is sprinkle a bit of flour on my surface. Like that. And then I'm going to just cut little buns. Some people, they actually weigh them out, how much, you know, they want to put on a bun, or in a bun, how much dough. But I'm not that picky. And it's a bit sticky today. It's a bit chilly in here, that's why. So just cut. I find making buns is so relaxing, and it gives the house such an amazing smell as you're baking it. Yes, it's quite sticky. Sometimes you need to add a little bit of oil to make it not quite as sticky. I like to use flour instead of adding more oil. Alright, cut out as much as you need for one baking sheet, and I line my baking sheet with parchment paper, and I use them over and over because, you know, they don't burn or anything. And then just roll your little buns out. That sounds funny. Yep, just roll them out like that and pop them on your sheet. And then I usually let them rise for another 2 hours on the cookie sheet. So this is not a very, it's not, what do you call it, a quick bread recipe. It's, you gotta let it rise, and then roll them out, and then let them rise again. But they're so soft, and we just love the bread like this. And try not to get too much flour on your buns like this. Because then it doesn't roll out properly like that one. So just keep rolling until the flour is incorporated. And if your hands get sticky, just kind of roll it in some flour. And I usually fit about, there's 9, about 12, a dozen on a cookie sheet. So I'm gonna cut 2 more, and then that sheet is full. And then I put them aside and let them rise for usually about 2 hours. It depends on how warm your house is. If it's not too warm, then about 2 hours. And our house is usually at about 70. So yeah. And then what I do is I just take the cookie sheet off of here and I put it on a table to rest, and I put a towel, a clean towel over top, and just let it sit like that for 2 hours. And then I'll come back after 2 hours and show you what it looks like. This is what the buns look like after rising for 2 hours. Now I'm going to put them in the oven for 20 minutes and bake them, and then they're done. Alrighty, I am all finished baking, and there are my buns, and they look delicious. These ones are very hot. These ones have cooled down a bit, and you can see how very soft they are, and yeah, they're delicious. Gonna go get Bill, and we're gonna have some bread and butter. And there's my KitchenAid, all clean. I love it. I have used it almost, I would say, every week for the last 5-6 years. It's an amazing tool to have. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.